is power. Responsibility isn't about blame, it's about authority. If you're responsible for something, that means you have the authority or the ability to affect change of it.
Right.
So when you're saying I accept responsibility, what you're also doing is stepping into the mantle of leadership and saying, okay, if I'm responsible for its downfall, I can also be responsible for uplifting it, right? And so that's, I don't want any man watching this to think that we're just always talking trash about men. There's just a thing with men in this day and age where men don't hold each other accountable. And you see it in the rap game and all these other things, but a lot of men are they shy away from conflict.
Blue, I forget the way that you said it, but this idea of many of us don't understand love. Like if we just pick out one of the many things we could talk about, a lot of times, you know, you're in a club, you're chilling with the homies, y'all dancing, you see somebody and she's super attractive. So the first thing we got to be honest is it's the attractiveness that draws us to them anyway. So that's not to be avoided and act like it's not a part of the conversation. Oh, well, I just want to get to know you. No, you don't just want to get to know me. You never just want to get to know me. The fact that you find me attractive, it started you wanting to get to know more.
And then you add in the blackness on top of that, and it's like it's just doubling down. It's a difficult thing to teach a man how to be a man in general, and especially how to be a black man if you're a woman. Like it's just that's
Ain't no woman teaching a man how to be a man.
I'm saying women are doing a good job with what they have to work with.
We understand what that black men are targets. Black men, you're precious, you're kings. It's nothing like you. Period. Nothing like a black man. And we know this with the Willie Lynchlet. I have it here at my house. You know what I mean? We understand because of the black man being a target, why so many black women protect their black child, their black man child, and they don't equip them because they're so focused on protecting them, keeping them alive by any means necessary. And unfortunately, I feel.
And it's funny because as I was preparing to talk to you all today, I did some artwork of this strong, like warrior chick, right? And at the bottom I put, "Is he worth your crown?" And then Madam D was like, "Yo, Trey, don't use that." And I was like, "Why not?" And she was like, "Because most black women are sick and tired of having to be strong. Why can't we be vulnerable? Why can't we stand up and actually be the man?"
You know, James,
you know, like if you look at the white female and corporations and in the world, in the business world, they don't have these same things. We have left the communities and we've left them unprotected. We haven't provided adequately for our women. And so they have to raise the kids. They raise them alone. They raise them without child support. They raise them without just, not even just the finance, but just the presence of us being there. We have failed our women a lot. We continue to, even in this election, we failed our women. You know what I'm saying? But supporting somebody who supports our demise. So, you know, we got to get together, like black men as a whole, you know, being one. And my friends, you know, some of them, I look at them like, yo, we have to be accountable for raising these daughters that are not able to depend on us, you know, able to just, you know, sometimes they just want to depend, like, it's cool for, it should be okay for them to depend on us.
I wanted to follow up on what LaCora said, because she said that we protect our black men. And while we protect them, we also hinder them a lot. And I want to make sure that people listening to this show understand that it's one thing to protect them because we know that they're a target. It's another thing to just raise a man that can't lead. And the problem now in the household and why black women are always seen as strong, and like I said, I don't get to necessarily take a break, is because you haven't equipped that black man to lead. He's used to a black woman taking care of him because we're trying to protect him. No, teach that man how to lead. We gotta protect the man, teach him how to be a man.
Right. So I sat him down and I said, "Hey, if I was a woman who was looking for more from you, here are the actions that you exhibited that would confirm for me that that's what you wanted to without the conversation." I said, a lot of times as women, we seek your intent, or as people, we seek your intent through your action. The way you're behaving, and I gave him actionable stuff. That's another thing. We have to stop speaking in generalities and expecting the person to understand our perspective. I said, here are the specific actions that you demonstrated that would cause me as a person to relate to X, Y, and Z. Stop speaking in generalities. Stop putting people in boxes.
There are some signs that women pick up that they can't even identify. So because they pick it up spiritually. So there's some things that they can tell you they saw, but there are flags that they felt that they can't tell you. And a lot of it has to do with okay, so narcissism makes you see the world in an unrealistic way, and then live as if the world is the way that you see it, right? So that's your worldview. If we look at Trump, right? Trump wants to be the president, but he doesn't want to do the job at the same time. You can't separate those two. So we take things that cannot be separated, and we try to take one without the other all the time. So as a man, you cannot have ownership without responsibility. Absolutely not.
And how, if we're talking about stipulations for is he worthy of your crown, is he humble?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he has to be weak.
No.
But if I speak harshly to my wife, I need to be humble enough to say, to apologize and to say that was uncalled for. I need to be humble enough, and not just to feel that way, but to communicate that to her in a way that she understands that I understand my role in that exchange.
Yeah.
That's not a weak, that's a strong thing to do.
Absolutely.
It takes strength to be humble. It doesn't take strength. A weak man is boisterous.
Yeah.
A humble man is strong.
Yeah.